Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I just decided that okay, admittedly, this is a little bit late as I was unfortunately transported to another dimension where internet never existed beyond one bar. So I didn't really get a chance to look at this yesterday, but I'm here now, and I don't know. I thought there's some good things in here, and I just wanted to talk about them a bit more. So, yeah, big Sunday preview for the Mortal Realms and other. So yeah, us take a look at what we have here. So wow, we have got for Age of Sigmar, we finally got the a look-see of the new General's Handbook coming for the 2022-2023 season. Yeah, really, I've been hearing some really good stuff in regards to the new General's Handbook coming out. So yeah, so apparently apparently the themes are going to switch more from monsters that they've been for the last year or so. Now they're going to be apparently giving a lot of big buffs to battle lines. So I hope I'm looking forward to that. I also I've really heard that also now. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that they might also be doing some new things coming in regards to shooting and just how it functions. Now I don't know if this is true or not, and honestly, I don't know what they would do for that specifically. Like maybe changes to maybe terrain or just maybe how shooting works in general. But whatever it is, I would really like to see that, as I do feel shooting in some circumstances could use some addressing. So hopefully they do so in the new General's Handbook. I'm also hoping that in general any points changes won't be too crazy, as I think everything's kind of equaling out. So I hope it works out in that way. The new Battletome Sylvaneth coming too. Oh yes. Well, I have to say I've got nothing but good things to say about the new Sylvaneth update. Yeah, they're getting some really nice updates to their general rules. Everything's looking pretty good. Much more thematic. Some excellent new miniatures, by the way. And I really like how they're tying this into the ending of Broken Realms and how the right of life is empowering the Sylvaneth. Well, yeah, like the Necroquake empowered death. Well, life is bringing the Sylvaneth back with style, so only appropriate. And speaking of Sylvaneth, the Gossamet Archers, man, these are really nice models. I have to say, like, just like they're the whole idea of like them almost like quasi merging with these insect like sprites. It's really nice, and I've actually seen their rules in action too. And these guys, oh geez, I actually wonder if those rules are going to stay like that, because they seem pretty good. But then again, we'll see how their points will be when they come the new book. So we'll see on that. And the Spite Rider Lancers. Yeah, these guys are also looking pretty good too. And honestly, I'm actually a little surprised they took as long as they did, because I'm actually surprised that Sylvaneth is such a big like factions ever since the beginning. I'm surprised they took them this long to get proper cavalry. And well, I'm just glad they're finally here. I really like these models myself too. Like they're really they're really embracing the whole insect theme. Like if everyone else rides horses, these guys ride bugs. Power to them, as far as I'm concerned. Now, moving on to Battletome Skaven. Yeah, Skaven are like I've always enjoyed Skaven. The Battletome, it's got the new like red outline, but they haven't actually changed like the artwork. Honestly, same thing with the Sylvaneth too. They haven't really changed either. Like it's the same artwork from the last one. I always kind of wondered what like this like decides that. It's just like they just couldn't think of a new one, or they just liked the old one. Like I'm not complaining or anything. Like this has always been a good picture. I'm just kind of wondering what the thought process is. So yeah, the Skaven will be coming up as like the counterpoint to the new Sylvaneth book. And yeah, I've seen from what I've seen so far with the rules, I think Skaven are finally getting are going to become a proper horde army, because beforehand, like sure they were billed as a horde army, but the horde just didn't work. It just Skaven really has suffered for quite some time here. Just their rules just can't seem to capitalize on the whole horde concept to make them competitive. So I think the new book is taking in the right direction. And yeah, new War Scroll cards, saw that coming. Like these are always handy. Oh, and the one for the Daughters of Cain is coming too. So these are always handy. Like if you ever like, you could just whip them out whenever you need to like check something. I personally prefer just using the app. I just feel it's a little more efficient, but these are nice to have too. What do we got? Oh, the dice sets. Yeah, the dice, like, oh yeah, these dice I like too. Like at least GW is now making, like, definitely making attempts to make like the dice like practical while also stylish. Like, oh geez, I am never gonna let them live down those squig dice for the gloom spite gets. Like those were like custom designed to be impractical. Yeah, like yeah, so so yeah, the thing is, and the symbol is on the six too. Honestly, I think for the sake, just I think they should just like this should, like, I don't, I think it is already, but if it's not, I think it should just be standardized that the six for like specialist dice should be the symbol, not like one and where the symbol's on the one and one is on the six. I just make sure, I just think they should standardize it, you know. So yeah, those are looking good. New Vanguard box for Daughters of Cain. That makes sense. They got a new book. Kind of surprised it took the like this wasn't previewed when the original book came out, but you know, it is what it is. And the Vanguard box for the Skaven too. So one thing for the Skaven, however, especially this, it's definitely, I guess we're really not, I guess there's not really going to be any other models besides the new Clan Eshin hero. I mean, I'm not complaining. That was a nice hero, but it kind of seems like I was just kind of hoping maybe they would have at least like updated the whole line for the Eshin ring. Like those models are just, you know, those models are like ancient at this point. In fact, if you look at like these clan rats and then you look at those Eshin models, like they don't even, like the heads aren't even the same shape in a lot of cases. Like that's how old they are. And yeah, like, and with the Daughters of Cain too, yeah, this is a pretty good box. You know, you got, this is, you know, you got like you know, you got the battle line daughters, and you got your range, you got your fast attack, you got your hero. Yeah, these are, and same thing here too. You got your heavy support, you got your mainline battle, you got some artillery, wizard caster. Yeah, these are some solid boxes. And also for the Vanguard Night Hunt, not really much else to say about the same. Yeah, like, well, I think maybe it would have been nice maybe if those new like range troops could have been in here, you know, this little bit. But you know, that's just a nitpick. These are still pretty good. Yeah, and then we get on to the heroes. Auric Flamekeeper. Yeah, he's a I like his overall design. Not my favorite model, but he looks good. Oh, but the Archelian Thrall Master. I just this guy I really actually do enjoy. Like he just kind of gives me like, you know, like Gladiator vibes, you know, like the 2000 movie, you know, with Russell Crowe. Like it's just, you know, like you could just see, I could just see him just like stepping into arena and just going ham fisted through like other gladiators. You know, he even kind of has that trident, like one of the, like that type of gladiator. I don't know. I just really like it. And the high, and speaking of Gladiator, the High Gladiatrix. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. Got her whole whip thing going on. Yeah, nothing much else to say. It's a good model, and I also think it's probably, and it's a pretty good indicator of probably where the design of Daughters of Cain will be going in the long term. Like going more, just a little bit more armor, more, you know, practical protection, but still allowing for like mass movement. I think that's a good thing. You know, like look, yeah, I get it. It's supposed to be for movement, but at the same time, like I get it doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, a metal bikini, not per se. Not saying they're not going to have that, but you know, some definitely should probably have some more armor on them. And the Scriptor Mortis, I'm nothing else to say with this. It's a good model, a little busy, but you know, I don't know, just give it extra padding when you're transporting it, I guess. And now we move on to 40K. New chapter approved Warzone Nephilim. Anyway, yeah, a new mission pack for grand tournaments. Yeah, so yeah, there's going to be like new rules for you know, command point generation, secretary injection, warlord traits. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, 40K. Okay, internal balance aside, I think it's got some pretty good, interesting rules. So I am a little concerned, especially with all the stuff being added. Like there have been definitely some complaints with 40K of like, you know, rules bloat, especially with like the 400 different, you know, like stratagems that are already in here. So I wonder how this would go. Not saying it's not, this is a bad thing. I just hope they're just, adding stuff that's, they're not just adding extra fat just, to make it taste better. You know what I mean? Just need some nutrients in there too. And now we move on to Necromunda. You know what? I just want to let everyone know I am a big fan of Necromunda, especially of its design. Like especially this new Outlands they're going with too. It's like, I guess I could describe it. It's kind of like, like Dune meets, like Star Wars meets Borderlands, like it's just got that whole like rugged desert thing going on. Like, oh, Mad Max, yeah, there's lots of Mad Max in there too, and I'm loving every minute of it. And definitely embracing the return of the squats in 40K, especially with the new Necromunda. Like, yeah, I was always kind of on the fence a bit about the inclusion of squats in the game. Like, I get they were kind of at least at first they were kind of silly, but I really feel like they're kind of keeping the original aesthetic, but still giving them an update that you could, okay, it's not, they're they're not just screaming, hey, take me seriously. Like, they look pretty good. So speaking of models, oh yeah, like see, look at this. This is the Mad Max charm I'm telling you about here. Like just lots of guns, big fancy big rugged vehicle just screaming through the Badlands and the waste. What's it called? Yeah, the Outlands. Like, yeah, like this is the kind of 40K stuff that I really like. And I know some people probably still don't like it, but look, tires exist in the 40K. Okay, everything can't be tracks. Tires have legitimate advantages over tracks in circumstances. For the Imperium is allowed to have wheels. We can move on to that. And honestly, I like wheels. Wheels look good. Wheels look practical. Wheels look fun. So let's stick with wheels, and the more the merrier, because we got 8 now. Yeah, so we got the gun framers. Yeah, it looks like, I guess those are auto cannons by the looks of it. Yeah, like I guess they're probably going to need it because, as I said, this is Mad Max meets Dune meets the Road Warrior 2. So that's definitely going to need those. And then we have and it seems to be it's a cargo trailer. That's cool. And then the Ironhead Squat Prospectors. Yeah. So apparently, from what it's been said, these are not the new like Leagues of Votann technically. So technically speaking, the Leagues of Votann and the squats themselves are technically two separate things. Like where like the Votann are like genetically engineered clones where like there could be like different looking casts, while squats are just a legitimate abhuman species. So it is, so I guess they're legitimately like creating a distinction between them where one is not necessarily the other. However, I still have a strong feeling that maybe like these, like, okay, I understand too that lore-wise these guys are specific to Necromunda, but I'm just kind of wondering, do you think they'll be? I wonder if they'll be usable in any capacity when the new book drops for the Leagues of Votann. Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards no, because stuff in Necromunda hasn't really, not everything in Necromunda has transferred over to the main 40K game. So I kind of have a feeling that these will probably stay exclusive to Necromunda. But still, I think they do definitely give an idea on like what the style will be. Like, I don't think their technology would be like incredibly different, And yeah, new battle tactics cards. Vespa Minx Moderni Orlok Bounty Hunter. Now, when I first saw this, I thought this was a new, because of the beard, I thought this was a new squat model, but no, he's a member, he's a bounty hunter. So yeah, he's looking pretty good too. Again, loving wheels. Please give me more wheels. GW, if you're listening to this, give me all the wheels. I love them. Yeah, he's looking pretty good here too. She's got like, oh geez, she's got a rocket launcher. Well, I hope those are not just for show and those are like ear protectors, because she blasts that thing off more than twice. He's going deaf. Like, oh my kid, she blasts that thing off once, they're going deaf. So please, I hope they're wearing earplugs. That's all I'm gonna say. And now the new storm, the new storm caller. Yeah, like this is probably the most Dune thing I've seen in a long time in 40K. Like these are like the Iraqans, like if they actually had mounts, they're not riding worms per se, they're riding like cockroach monsters, I guess. So yeah, these are definitely appropriate for definitely for Necromunda. Looks like he's got like, I guess that's some kind of like a staff. I guess it shoots something, and he's got pistol. What is that? It's probably a pistol. And oh, look at it. Oh, poor guy, he's missing a leg. Well, at least they were nice enough to give him a replacement. So that's good. They're taking care of their animals. I like that. And now we're getting on to Black Library. Dark Imperium Plague War. Yes. So now we're getting it in paperback. For those who might not remember, yeah, the Dark Imperium series, it is definitely it's actually getting a bit of a redo, because okay, now apparently like the Indominus Crusade doesn't take place like 100 years later. It's only like something like 12 years. So they're actually like reprinting these books with changing it up to retcon that. Yeah, I think that's probably I don't know if they really had to do that, because like the whole 100 years thing would have kind of makes sense too, because like wars in 40k last for decades if not centuries at a time, so it would have made perfect sense to have like a time skip like that. But on the other hand though, it did also end with basically the Indominus Crusade ending, so he essentially skipped like 90% of the actual crusade, so we're now just in the middle of it rather than at the end of it. No, so my idea is that this, even though this takes place here, I do think we're going to get a big time jump in the future, probably 100 years. That's my theory. We're just gonna once we cover the more minutia of the Indominus Crusade, we're just gonna jump ahead and just see how this all turns out. Especially now how they're kind of almost trying to reframe the conflict, in that the Great Rift in the 40k actually might have been a bigger benefit to the Emperor than chaos. So I think that's actually an interesting little twist there, where oh no, chaos is gonna win, but then they're like, oh wait, no, the Emperor might actually wake up and kill everything. So it's nice. And the newest Age of Sigmar model, Prince Mesa. Yeah, and here's the real great thing about this guy. Not only is he a prince, an exiled prince on a great journey to find the soul of his lost love, who he lost, and it's a really interesting story too, because he's actually an elf, but he was exiled from his people for daring to love a human woman, and now with her death, he's trying to find her soul, I guess, to revive her. Yeah, I guess, or maybe just have her soul with him, so he's going off to he's you can see in the picture right here, he's coming from, looks like Gairan to Shyish to confront Nagash, I guess, to somehow get her soul back. Yeah, these kind of these doomed love, do anything for love stories, I kind of have a soft spot for. So, and I also really like too that he's an actual wanderer. This is the first official book to have in Age of Sigmar so far to have a wanderer main character, which definitely I think goes to show that I get people. I don't think we need to worry about the Cities of Sigmar inevitable update. I'm pretty sure wanderers as a sub faction are going nowhere. In fact, I actually have a theory. I have a pretty sure that this guy right here, he might actually get a model down the line. And also Arika Zenth for the Scourge Privateers, because basically anything that gets a book, I think pretty much there's a good chance they're going to get a model at some point. So I think in the next update for Cities of Sigmar, I don't think the actual current models for Wanderers will get updated, but they'll get an additional hero, which will be this guy. But maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I think. And and a new anthology for the Sabbat Wars. Yeah, at this point right here, not only are we way past the Sabbat Wars in the timeline, but it doesn't seem to be any chance of stopping. So yeah, we're the Sabbat Wars war. I just wonder what Dan Abnett's going to do with it in the long run, because this book series is getting on decades old at this point right here, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down. But I just feel as the current 40k timeline and events kind of move past it, I just feel to an extent it's kind of seeming more and more out of place, because there's no Great Rift, there's no big Tyrannid Necrons running around. I just feel maybe this is my personal opinion, maybe it might be time to wrap it up, just have its big grand finale, give Gaunt's Ghosts its final send off, and do whatever you do with them afterward. But again, that's just me. And also, what is this? The Fall of Altdorf. The end times draws near. Relive the essential chapter. Now available. Oh, okay. It's an audio book for the Fall of Altdorf. Well, that's all good and dandy. Like personally, I was a bigger fan of the end times as I think maybe the average person. Like I know the end times in general was very controversial with a lot of people, and I don't mean just blowing up the old world. I mean like just a lot of people didn't like, they were just killing characters left and right. A lot of people didn't like that they were like answering questions, but just in ways they didn't like, or they or just in general where the Skaven basically just basically conquered the whole world, and stuff like that, but I personally liked it, like at the very least, I feel like they wrapped it up reasonably well, but I will concede though, the end time, there were many things in the end times I think they were just doing just to wrap up the series rather than finding a legitimate conclusion. But let's be honest, this has been said enough already. This is like, honestly, I think it's time to move on from the end times. That was like going on, what, like 7 years ago? It's time to move on. Just, yeah. But I just want to say again, I personally didn't mind it. I liked it. So. And then we have a new book, Krieg. What is this? Toad Scorps. What is this? Are deployed in a meet. Looks like a story for the Death Corps of Krieg. Yeah, Death Corps of Krieg have really become popular, very popular again in recent times. So I'm not surprised they're getting another book. I like the Death Corps of Krieg overall. I don't know. I'm maybe not as obsessed with them as some people. I kind of just feel like they're just, grim dark of the Imperial Guard faction, but it's they're good. They have some ups. And coming this week in Warhammer Plus, we got a new Lore Masters. That's good. Oh, a new episode of Interrogator, and looks like we're also getting. Oh, I knew this was coming. Psychic Awakening is going to be available in the vault. Well, personally, I don't know how many people will care in general, because from what I remember from Psychic Awakening, it was very controversial, with most opinions leaning towards it wasn't great. And personally, I have to agree. The storyline really wasn't ambitious enough, in my opinion. It just didn't really shake up things as much as we were led to believe. Like, because we were told this was going to be like major changes, and not really, like, at all in the grand scheme of things. And on top of this, like some factions got like laughably better updates than others. Some were even advertised as getting updates and didn't really get anything. It really was. It could have been better. That's all I gotta say. So that's pretty much it for this. Again, sorry. Yeah, I know I did. This isn't Sunday. This came out yesterday, but I'm here. I still like to talk about it when these come up, because there's usually so much good stuff that comes out of it. So anyway, that's all for now. Yeah. Well, I hope everyone liked the updates so far. Like I personally did. But anywho, thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.